What's up guys, this is Puck15 and welcome to Puck15's album reviews. And in this video we're going to talk about oral sex. And before I get started, I just gotta ask myself, what the fuck have I got myself into by reviewing this type of adult theme type of band? But really there's a lot more interesting facts to dig in, so let's get right straight into it. Well, first off, Oral is actually a studio band by Conquest Records. So yes, it's a label put together band. But you might be thinking, oh, it's a studio band? Just like our last review, Indigo? Well, yes, but this time they actually made some really good music and some really good songs on there. But the only weakness is the lyrics, but we'll get to the music in a bit. There's another band that was formed in 1984 in Sweden that is also called Oral, and they're actually all male band members. Make that as you will. This album is only released on vinyl, which is what I have. There's also a CD version, but it's actually a bootleg. This album was actually released in 1985, in June of 1985, about the same time when rock music was actually having this controversial thing with the PMRC, and also the tone and the theme on this album, which is oral sex, which is porn. Well, porn in that time was also getting in trouble by the feds as well, because back in May of 1985, Ronald Reagan asked his Attorney General to investigate pornography because he was getting pressured by the Christian right. So yeah, 1985 was a strange and scary time for music and porn at the same time. The label Conquest Records actually released some other albums as well. A lot of them were released in 1985, that's when they were really active. And then in 1986, they were starting to release this one album on vinyl and on tape cassette. And then at the end of that, they disappeared. Also, if you look at the album cover, do you know where that is from? That was actually from a British pier. It was from the Brington Pier, England. And it was taking place in the 80s. If you see in the background, there's a lot of reefs and the cables in the background. And also the rocks in the ground. Yeah, it really does give you an indication where the album cover took place. And also, what other reviews have this album got? Well, it actually got some mixed reviews. Back in the early days, it actually had some low reviews. But now, in the age of the internet, the album actually has like a really complete mixed reviews. Actually, there is one good review by Ryan West, the host of Living Fast, and also a band member from Bat. He actually gave out a really honest review on it. Like one time when he was going out when he was doing an episode of European releases, he was actually out in the record stores and found this and gave out his quick, honest review. And what was his honest review?
Oral Sex. It's a female new album band created by Conquest Records. Kind of like a label put together band, but they actually have really good songs, almost like a female Motorhead. The best track would be Head, and if you can imagine what that's about, read the title. Boom.
Well, let's see if he actually is right. Let's get right into the music itself. Well, first off, I have to state the music itself is really great, and it's its actual mixture between other all-female bands and one band that is really interesting to hear. They actually have inspirations of Head Girl, which is a mixture split of Motorhead and Girlschool. They also have a lot of female sounds of this 1970s band called Runaway, and also they have a little bit more similar sounds to Rock Goddess as well. So yeah, that's your mixture of the sound, and yes, the instrumentals, the guitar riffs and the drums and the beats are all good, but the only downside to this album is the lyrics itself. And let me tell you, these lyrics are absolutely hilarious. I have to state, there's actually no lyric sheet inside the album, but for the sake of this review, I went ahead and listened to the whole entire album really closely to hear what the lead singer was singing about. And most of it I could not cipher. I'm going to read what I hear in my ears. And I know some of the words are going to be wrong, but I know they're not 100% accurate, but it's based off of what I hear on my ears. If you actually listen to this whole entire album yourself, and if you hear some different words that I'm hearing differently, then feel free to write them down in the comments below. So without further ado, let's talk about the very first song, Head, which I said before, Ryan West actually claimed that Head is about, the title itself, oral sex, which he is not wrong at all, but to give it more information, it's morely about giving a blowjob or a woman just sucking some man's penis. But yeah, it's really about it. And what about the lyrics? Well, the lyrics states as follows. Don't let someone fall. It was only 17. I blew one action-packed. Best stuff I ever seen. Back to my place in his car. I could have waited. To my head. To my head, up against it, I just have to have a taste. I just have to have a taste. Head, velvet lips. For you. Come for you. Head, move those hips. Come for me. Come for me. Head, I want to give it. I want to get some too. Must go, only go so far. Must go is only tease. But when you take my backseat, I go all have to please. I see you. Jeez. I see you got a stiff problem, and remedies begun. I'm sure that the answer is on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure that the answer is on the tip of my tongue. Head, velvet lips, come for you. Head, move those hips, come for me. Head, I want to give it, I want to get some too. Head, velvet lips, come for you. Head, move those hips, come for me. Head, I want to give it, I want to get some too. Head, velvet lips, come for you. Head, move those hips, come for me. Head. Yeah. The next song is Love Pole. Now, you might be thinking, what is Love Pole? Is it a stripper pole? Or is it just going on the strip clubs and watching some women just working at a stripper pole? You will be wrong. At least that's what I thought about when I was listening to this song. But no. When I actually ciphered the lyrics, I actually learned that Love Pole is actually about a man's peen, using it in a sexual way. Like using it in a sexual way, like thrusting, or I like to say, bouncing. So yeah, what does the lyric say? Well, they state as follows. Superman finds got a hot new lolly in his trolley. 8 inches long. In his trolley, 8 inches long. Ooh. It fills the hole. It's his love pole. I like to suck it slowly. I like to suck it slowly. I took it all away. Slip and slide. Thrust in the mind and saving my life. Love pole. Saving my life and melts inside. I wanna ride. Love pole. Saving my life. It melts inside. Love pole. Ooh. Superman finds my hot new victim. I need a stiff thing. These love poles were an awful stand. But he won't give in. He says he's still a man. To take me on away. Take me on away. Slip and slide, thrust in the mind and saving my life. Love pole. Saving my life and melts inside. I wanna ride. Love pole. Saving my life and melts inside. Love pole. Slip and slide, thrust in the mind and saving my life. Love pole. Saving my life and melts inside. I wanna ride. Love pole. Saving my life. I wanna ride. Love pole. Now track number 3 is Gas Mask, Fingers, and Priests. Now, you might be wondering, what does that even mean? At first, I thought it was about going to a sex shop and see all these interesting things. Interesting sexual things. Well, no. You'll be wrong. At least I was wrong the first time when I actually deciphered these lyrics. And then, speaking of the lyrics, this is one of the songs that was really hard to decipher. And I have to comment, not every word on this song is actually correct, but like I stated before, I actually wrote down what I actually hear in my ear, what I actually hear in the music. So what is this song really about? Well, it's actually about prostitution. Don't believe me? Here's what the lyrics say. I have been some strange places, and I've seen some disgraces. I always get what I want. You can't satisfy me, but you're welcome to try me. I like a man who comes on strong. Murdoch's 25 pounds, confession box 10 pounds, cold to shower 30. Golden showers 30, when in wonderful 80, when wonderful 80, full fetish dress 300. Cheap hotels, camera as well, gas masks, fingers and priests. Fun day thrills and all kinds of thrills. Gas masks, fingers and priests. King Cross Rava asked me for some favors. Cross my pond with notes. But he won't expecting a section rectum. Jesus Christ. A section in rectum. Once a night never won my boat. Press and dongs is 200. Whips and corrections 150. Trillion sex 1,000. Trillion sex 1,000. A confession box 10. Cheap hotels, cameras well. Gas masks, fingers and priests. Fun day thrills and all tons of thrills. Gas masks, fingers and priests. I'll whip them and bleed them, caress them and please them. I'm the girl of your dreams. But you better obey me and never betray me. I promise I get obscene. Murdoch's 25 pounds, confession box 10 pounds, Golden shower 30, wet and wonderful is 80. Only the sinuses 1,000. Chili in the sinuses 1,000. Cheap hotels, cameras, well, gas masks, fingers, and priests. Fun day thrills and all tons of thrills. Gas masks, fingers, and priests. 17 times that line, but the rest of that is I really want that boy. Bring me that boy now. He looks ready for me. I wanted to do this for so many years. It's not her, but you'll enjoy it. To the forever and ever, butts and crosses. Come into my confession box. I'll make you feel better. Anything you want to do. If you move next to those chains, if you scream, you will be sorry. I really want that boy. Bring me that boy now. He looks ready for me. I wanted to do this for so many years. It's not her, but you'll enjoy it. To the forever and ever, but some crosses. Come into my confession box. I'll make you feel better. Anything you want to do. Then the next song is Black Leather. Now, Black Leather and Head were also featured in compilation metal albums. I cannot really list them all because they were all sometimes released on vinyl or in CD. And you might be thinking, well, Black Leather, is it really wearing black leather, or is it just the metal style? Well, that's not what this song is about. Even though Black Leather does sound like it should sound like Guns N' Roses cover, or what it sounds like Guns N' Roses would write. But no, Black Leather is actually role-playing of being a sex slave, which I thought in my mind, it was bondage, like wearing all leather, being strapped, and your master just comes up and just tells you, this is what I want you to do, and you can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. And that's what it really sounds like to me. But I mean, hey, judge these lyrics yourself. Here's what they say. I've woken up, walking down the streets. I can feel the sun, looking down I see. When you can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. You can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. It's late that night, and I'm all alone. You can hear my boots getting near our home. You can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. You can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. Scratch, scratch, he's crawling to the door. Oh no, he can't take it anymore. Quack, quack, he feels so soft, he never should have asked for black leather 5 times. You can try your hardest, but you won't get far. If you let me in, but I'll start again. You can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. You can't refuse, and you just can't choose what I'm gonna do. Squatch, squatch, he's crawling through the door. Oh no, he can't take it anymore. Quack, quack, he feels so soft, he never should have asked for black leather 6 times. And that's it. Now track number 5 is a song called Pearl Necklace. Now you might be thinking, Pearl Necklace, is it about a woman getting a pearl necklace and just wrapping around the neck and just sometimes reaching down on the stomach? Well, you'll be half correct. You'll be very half correct. But really, Pearl Necklace is actually a slang of actually climaxing at the end of of coming into her stomach. And if you're lucky, the cum will just actually reach on her neck as well, which hence the name Pearl Necklace. Yeah, and you might be saying, that sounds crazy. It is crazy, but here's what the lyrics say. Let's not make love tonight. I'm feeling tired, the thoughts aren't right. I see you started to get me down. With all your wee all over town. Have them all, I don't care, 'cause I know something they wouldn't dare. I know you won't expect this, but you're gonna give me Pearl Necklace. I'm gonna get you stiff and wetness. I'm gonna get you stiff and wetness. I want you to give me Pearl Necklace. Feels so good around my neck. It feels so right, looks so wet. Nice and shiny, nice and bright. I know you won't go out tonight. Baby, is it fast enough? Baby, give me that sweet. God damn it. Baby, give me that sweet, sweet stuff. I know you won't expect this, but you're gonna give me Pearl Necklace. I'm gonna get you stiff and wetness. I want you to give me Pearl Necklace. I know you won't expect this, but you're gonna give me Pearl Necklace. I'm gonna get you stiff and wetness. I want you to give me Pearl Necklace. I know that you won't expect this, but you're gonna give me Pearl Necklace. I'm gonna get you stiff and wetness. Yeah. Now, track number 6 is the very last one, which I have to say, this last song absolutely sucks. And this song is really hard to explain because this song, I Need Discipline, actually got the album's controversy. You might be thought the controversy was coming from the sexual theme part. Well, no. The song actually got some controversy from the last song. And why was that? Well, listen to these lyrics. Don't be late for school. Okay, Daddy. People say I'm just a wild girl, and she know I'm not a child girl. People say that I come on too strong, but who are they to say what's right and wrong? Because it's gonna take a special kind of man to turn me down. I need discipline. 2 times. I've been the same since I was just 13. They call me jailbait. My name is more obscene, but who cares? I packed a narrow mind. I took what I like, and I make it mine. Because it's gonna take a special kind of man to turn me down. I need discipline. 2 times. So Daddy, you better tie that knot very strong. Better make sure it'll never come undone. I need discipline. This time 6 times, and that's about it. Yeah. Based off of what you read, judge for yourself, and you can exactly see why the last song got some controversy for the album. So yeah, based off of the music, what should I rate this? Well, I had to rate it in a separate type of way. Like, I had to rate it from the instrumentals itself. The instrumentals, I would give it a 4 rating out of 5. But for the lyrics' sake, for the music, I have to give it 2 out of 5. Why? Because they're absolutely hilarious and funny at the same time. But actually having a little bit of comedy in your music just kind of kills it. But if you actually have some good instrumentals with it, then it could be a passable type of album. So I wouldn't say this album is bad or good. It's morely like fits in the category of it's so bad it's good album. So yeah, that's how I would explain it. So what is more about this band? Well, let's talk about more in the history. At the time when this album was released, you expected this album to get controversy because music and porn were getting trouble at the same time. Well, this album went under the radar with all that trouble, which I have to say the album was really lucky too. Because if it would have gotten in even more controversy than it got, then it would have gotten worse for this album. Or it could be better, you know, who knows, take your pick. They actually got in a 1985 issue of a heavy metal magazine called Kerrang, which actually features an interview with Monica Ramone, and what that interview stated is very, very strange. Like, the lead singer Beverly, which is the one in the middle, she actually stated that Bev is actually 16 while the time this album was released or the band was active. And that seems a little bit suspicious. But at the time, you gotta remember, this was actually a time when, I don't know how to explain it, or I might get trouble for it, or I might get heat on this, but again, this was actually taking place in 1985, when stuff like that didn't really matter, and now if you actually look at it today, and while it's happening today, yeah, it will be criminal, absolutely. So there's no argument on that. And another thing that it states that Monica commented on the interview, that she actually stated that Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead actually taught her how to play guitar, which really is strange to me for two reasons. One, I have not heard any interview of Lemmy Kilmister stating that Lemmy actually taught Monica Ramone. Lemmy actually played bass most of the time when he is in bands. The only time I can think of when he was actually playing guitar was when he was actually playing in Hawkwind. So, I don't know. And another thing that also needs to be even more deeply researched that I haven't done myself is that Monica also stated that she was also a former Penthouse model. And again, I cannot confirm any of these statements that she stated because I have not seen Monica Ramone actually featured in a Penthouse magazine. Again, I could be wrong. So that interview really is strange to me. And also, just in case you didn't know, Monica Ramone was actually featured in an Iron Maiden's music video of 2 Minutes to Midnight. Yeah. Where are the band members today? They have completely disappeared out of the spotlight. So it is a complete mystery of where they have gone to. Recently, there was an article that talks about this album and gives even more research behind the scenes. Is that they state that the interview in the magazine, from the Kerrang magazine, all states that it's bullshit. Which I have to say, while reading it, I have to agree. And another thing that is a really dead giveaway is when the interview stated that they all been in previous bands. Well, I can definitely state the facts that is bullshit thanks to the internet, because if you actually look up these band members themselves, you can only find that they only been in oral sex. And there's no information, no evidence whatsoever that states on the internet say that they have been in previous bands. Although, however, there is evidence that Monica Ramone was actually in video productions before. Like I stated before, she was in the music video of Iron Maiden's 2 Minutes to Midnight. If you actually look her up in IMDb, she actually does have a film resume as well. So yeah, there is proof that the band members do exist. So what else does the band have? Well, this article states that the 3 women that you see in the covers, they all try to play a metal show, but they all suck. Like, they couldn't even play an instrument. The singer couldn't sing right. And you might be thinking, if the band themselves actually suck, then how could they release an album like this? Remember what I stated, that it's a studio band? Guess what? It was actually made by all male bands. And you might be thinking, how is that possible? How could that be possible when you actually hear the vocals? Guess what? Voice changer. They actually record a male voice and then change his voice. And you might be thinking, wow, who wrote the lyrics? Guess what? It was actually wrote by an adult male. So I have to state this. Whoever wrote the last song, I Need Discipline, do me a favor. Why don't you have a seat right over there? Because, oh, dude, that's just fucking wrong. But anyway, there's your review twist right there. And it's a very dead giveaway when there's supposed to be 4 band members, and you only see 3. In the back, it says Bev as vocals, Monica as guitars, Dee as drums, and the last member, Candy, now departed. What a shame. That is a dead giveaway. That it actually gave some people that Candy was actually a male member, which they are correct. The instrumental tracks were made by other musicians. And if you actually think of the song Head, if you actually hear that bass line, it sounds vaguely familiar to Lemmy. So the strange theory is Lemmy Kilmister could have been involved in the album, kept it secret all these years. But again, who knows? And yes, there is still some mystery information going on with the album. If there's more information about the album, I would love to. Me, for myself, I would love to know myself. Because the oral sex information, mystery information, just sounds fascinating to me. And I got a question for female rockers. Based on the concept and the theme of this band, would you actually form an all-female band and have this type of theme, singing about sex and singing about man's peens and man's sexual activities? Would women like that? Or some shit like that? Back in the same time in 1985, there were already a lot of all-female bands out there. Like previously, like I mentioned, there was Girls' School, there was Runaways, and there was Rock Goddess, and also a shout out to a San Antonio band that was formed very early before this band, and actually released a single at the same time when this album was released, and that band is Heather Leather. So yeah, I say check all those all-female bands out, and also check out this album as well. And also, my final statement here, I say, if you want to have a good time in the bedroom, I say pop this album out and have you and your partner a good time. Or if you want to have a good fap, I say either listen to Head or Love Pole. you might have a good fat. Like, I cannot confirm, deny if I tried it or not. So yeah, that's it on oral sex. And what is the next? Album review that we're going to do? Well, the next review, we are going way down in history of Norway. Way before black metal hit the scene, and we're also going to talk about the very, very start of heavy metal in the country of Norway. And we are going to talk about the very first Norwegian heavy metal band. And what band is that? Well, it's a band called Rex Begonia. Tune in next time. We are going to talk about Rex Begonia and their EP as well. So yes, that is it. Puck 15, out.